fire, and whatever burns off us is our reward. Because He'll put us through a fiery furnace, and whatever burns off of us, and whatever's left, is our reward. We will receive our reward and our crown and our authority of to rule over a certain nation. But some of us, we're going to end up having a little pile, but most may have more. And also, some people will have the crowns. Like, say, you end up having 5, 7 crowns, or maybe even more. But the Great White Throne Judgment, he actually talked about that too. So the Great White Throne Judgment is a judgment where God is going to judge the non-believers, the wickedness for everything that they've done, even sins that people who rejected Christ, people who did not accept Him, people who still decided to sin, people who enjoyed sinning, people who did a lot of evil things. And God will also take those people who are in hell right now. This, like this hell, the hell right now is like a jail. Like when you're in court, right? And there's like, you get arrested and you go to jail. That's what that hell is right now. It's like a jail. Once Judgment Day comes, those people who are in hell will go up to that Great White Throne Judgment. God will judge them, and He will cast them to the lake of fire. The real hell, the true hell, where the place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that's the Great White Throne Judgment, because God will judge those who didn't give their lives to Christ, who didn't believe in Christ, who didn't turn away from their sins. People who are slaves of sins will be judged by God, and they'll be cast in the lake of fire, unless their names is written in the book. For the ones for the believers will be judged by what we not by for us going to hell, but by our reward, because we judge of what we've done, the good and bad. Say you helped out like an old lady cross the street, or you helped out this young lady help of a relationship problem, or say you had a friend who was just having a good time and you helped them out, or say you helped out your parents, say you did this, or you saw someone who had a flat tire and helped them out, change it out. And for the bad deeds, we'll be like, oh, I hit this person, or say I cursed at that person, say I cussed at this person, say I slapped this beautiful lady right here, and say I punched that person in the face, or say I shot this person in the shoulder, or whatever it is. And God will put that all in a pile, and it'll be burned. But we're going to go through that fire, and we'll be burned by it, and whatever burns off of it is our reward. It's determined for us to go to hell. It's determined on our reward. Most of us is going to have a little pile of that reward. Of the precious diamonds, stones, and rubies. Some will have more, and some will have less. Because it's based off from the deeds, the good deeds and the bad deeds. Say, how much good deeds have you done? If you had more good deeds, it'll be that much. If you had this much bad deeds, that much. Or say if it's between, and whatever burns off, that's your reward. And you also will receive a crown too. And for us who believes in Christ, who are doing what we're commanded to do, it's, what is that one verse? I can't remember. Somehow I can't remember it. I'll just read it later, but Yeah.
I feel like in David, like how he gave his friend some of his what you going to call when they get up there, like he was not like offering everything, but he was just going to share. But that's what I'm saying. There are going to be some people like that who are up there when they have like say a state or something, have more houses. And I'm not saying just houses. I'm saying like, just whatever they own. They could, be good enough souls as they would just bid you like, among the poor still as you would call and just show
Yeah.
how very good as like they are as people and how God does rank other people. And I'm just saying it's not just like a number he's putting on you. It's because
The
you're
rank.
just showing like you know other people what they
Yeah.
want to do, but what you're doing, and you're still not being greedy, even when he gave you all that, and you still are sharing and giving.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I need to start like going out and like give my money to the poor, help clothe the naked, visit those who are in prison, and even do all those things. And another thing is, I know it's not works that it gets me to heaven, and it's not by works that gets us to heaven. It's by grace and having faith in the Lord. It's not about work. Like my works are not enough to get me to heaven. It's not enough. It's not enough to get to heaven. It is good to do good works, good deeds, but it's not enough to get me to heaven. It's by grace. So get to heaven because it's what Jesus did is what's going to get me to heaven. It's by knowing what Christ did for me. That's what gets to heaven. It's by believing, knowing, and having faith in Christ. It's what He did for us, knowing what He sacrificed for us. So if I draw a picture and I showed the cross and Jesus Christ right there, and we put, like say I put a random person, but that's basically us, and all that fire just hitting the back of the cross, that's basically showing that Jesus paid it all. And we're sitting right there. All we have to do is accept it, what Christ did. Ooh, I'm thinking. Always not enjoy lagging. I need a better PC. God, I don't have money. But yeah. But yeah. It's not by works, it's by grace. That's what gets us to heaven. Because you don't work to get to heaven. It was given to us as a gift.
Well, the
That's why
ones
Jesus
who are
Christ.
inside my circle are my family, is what he tells people.
And brothers and sisters in Christ. I gotta sit down, standing too long.
Just like in Matthew 18 through 20, or where there is where there is two or three who are gathered as my followers, I am there. Like, he is supposed to be like, not like, he's present, as you would say, because his followers are gathered, like in the circle, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he stands with us, so.
Yeah. And the thing is, we can't see God. I can't see God. But we know that He's there with us.
Oh, there.
Like, we can't see him, but we know that he's there. Because I remember talking to a guy, we were in this church world, and I was talking to him about, because he was like he was trying to understand about faith and all that, about this and that. I told him about that God is our teacher, and we are his students, and he's testing our faith. I even mentioned about the book of Job. I haven't read throughout the whole book, only some chapters of it, but I know I would read more, but some people explained it too. I told him about it, because, like when he went through all this stuff, right, he lost his wealth, he lost his sons, his animal, his land, and he ended up losing his health. He ended up having great diseases, and he ended up having these blisters on his skin. But he remained faithful. He remained faithful, because the devil was causing all that destruction, all that chaos, all that pain to him. But he still remained faithful to the Lord. And and his friends were also there for him, trying to figure out if he did this, that he ended up having this, or did he sin this. But the thing was, he was innocent. He was really innocent. But there was a day he got so angry, he yelled at God, just yelling out of anger, all that. But God didn't came to tell him about what the devil did. Yet instead, God showed him everything, the world, the universe, everything that God created. Even the things that we can't even explore right now, God showed him.
Sometimes you put you in the middle of the galaxy.
Exactly. And throughout that chapter, he got everything back. He got his health back, got his land back, got animals back, everything. And he stayed, but he was still faithful to the Lord. Because he went through all that temptation, all through all that trial and suffering, but he had that faith. It's about having faith in the Lord. Because the thing is, God tests our faith. He's the teacher and we are his students. But the devil, he's the tempter. He tempts us. Like, if you read Matthew chapter 4, it says about when the devil is tempting Jesus 3 times. The devil is a tempter, he's a deceiver, and he's a father of lies. All he brings is death, destruction, lies, everything. Just chaos. Total destruction. And he'll put us through these trials, these temptations. But for the Lord, he is testing our faith. So God doesn't put us through these trials and temptations. The devil does. But God tests our faith if we stay faithful. If we have that genuine faith in the Lord. It's all about having faith in Christ. No matter how much pain and suffering you're going through, it's like this. If you're going to suffer for the Lord. Suffer for Christ. Because Christ suffered himself. That's why he came down to earth. He became man to understand about human beings. Having the mindset of a human being. The feelings of a human being. Like when Jesus was being led by the Spirit for 40 days and 40 nights, he became hungry.
It's warm.
Like, Jesus understand what it was like being human. Because he became human. And he's still a human being right now. He's 100% God, and he's 100% man. And right now he's in heaven, sitting on the right hand of the Father. His physical body is in heaven with the Father, right? But he will return one day. He will come back, and he will judge the dead and the living. He will come back and rule and reign on this earth for 1,000 years in his new Jerusalem. Because he will unite the heaven and the earth as one. Just like when Jesus was. He was a spirit, but he became a human being, a physical human being. That will be earth and heaven will become heaven and earth, because Jesus will come and claim his kingdom. Heaven
it's
on
like
earth. Because Jesus Christ.
a groom waiting for the bride to come is pretty much how
Yeah.
they announce it, and
Exactly.
That's in
It's like when Jesus said
Revelation.
to his disciples, I'm preparing a
that's at the
place
end
for you.
of the book, pretty much. So
Yeah. It's like when Jesus said to his disciples, I'm preparing a place. It's like he just said a wedding. It's basically like preparing a wedding. We are, us as believers who follow Christ, are the bride.
but
And
we have
he's
to
getting
wait
the wedding
though,
ready.
like as like as when before the wedding starts, they would come for us, but it's like
Yeah.
you miss when they come, they will come a second time. But if you miss that, that's pretty much when the wedding is cut off and the doors are shut,
Yeah.
and you're out the wedding pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. The 10 virgin. The 10 virgin. Five wise
Yeah.
virgins and 5 foolish virgins. Yeah. I can't remember what verse was that in, but I know what you're talking about.
It's in Revelation. If you're still on the same, I guess, track as me, I'm just saying that same subject, yeah. But
Yeah, I read some of it, but I just finished reading the book of First and Second Timothy.